Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 51 of Touched. This one is titled Red Feather Spy. Damn it! The second in charge, 2IC, spat angrily, slamming his hands down on the desk. If Hawks has her, we'll never get her. He's been trained by the government. He knows how to evade us. What if I could get her, your dad piped up. If I get her to you, I get to go free, correct? He asked, reminding them of his presence. Yeah, the 2IC grunted. You get paid and we ship you off somewhere. You'll never come back here again or we'll kill you. Fine by me, your dad said snidely in response. Hawks scowled at hearing your father drop you under the bus so quickly. Time to take out that asshole, he thought angrily. The 2IC continued. Then once we have her, we mobilise immediately and use her to infiltrate the League of Villains. We can get her to touch them with doubts about whatever their plans are and cause them to commit suicide. Yeah, but that's dangerous work, Hawks thought as he rubbed his chin. The League will kill her before she gets anywhere near doing that. Plus, she's not ready for that type of high-level infiltration. She's come a long way, but she'll die, trying to convince them that she's legit. I've already contacted someone from the League. He doesn't know my name, but I've told him that I can get him information from the inside and get it to him through one of my workers. Workers being your daughter Yin, the 2IC said to your father. Do I get commission for that? Your dad asked snidely. She's a product of me after all. No, the 2IC said bluntly. You take the money that we give you and you disappear. No negotiations. Fine, your dad muttered. $500,000 is plenty for me anyway. I should hope so, the 2IC replied gruffly. Then he changed the subjects. Well, off you go back to your cell now we're done with you here, he said dismissively. Hawks listened as your dad was directed out of the room and back down to the hall. Jackass, the 2IC grunted after your dad had left. Does he really think we're letting him go free and giving him money? He sneered to one of the other men in the room. Dunno, boss, why? They asked. Because we're not giving him anything, the 2IC said loudly. He's going to stay right here in his cell and we're going to use him how we wish, with or without the daughter, he said as he got up from his chair and walked around a bit. Telling him that we'd pay him if he cooperated with us was a ploy to make him more talkative, and it's worked. He's stupid as hell if you ask me. Oh, the man replied. So he's not getting money and he's not going free? No, idiot, it was a lie, the 2IC replied. He's a valuable asset to us, and no one knows that he exists as one of the lexical quirk users, so we can wipe his existence from the books. Oh, okay, that's smart, boss. But what about the girl, the guy asked. The other two haven't come back yet. They were supposed to have a sneak around Hawks' new place and see if they could catch a glimpse of his wife to see if she's this Yin that we're after, but they haven't been answering their phones. Odd, the 2IC said suspiciously. I'll look into it. Hawks smirked. Won't find them anytime soon, he thought as he reached behind himself and scratched at the place that 2 blade feathers had been plucked from his wings. So what's the next move, boss? The guy asked. We need to identify Hawks' wife and see who she is. If we can confirm that she's Yin, then we can either coax her to come with us by using her dad as bait, or we can go ahead and still try to kidnap her, but that would be hard with Hawks around. Yeah, thanks for exposing and confirming your plans, idiot. Hawks jeered internally as he stood up and stretched. Okay, so first of all, I've got to get Yin's dad out of the picture. He needs to go to jail for emotional abuse, and I have the paperwork from the psychologist overseeing Yin's mum to testify for that, he thought as he stepped out from under the tree and spread his wings. Then I need to disable the second in charge and get him either incarcerated or killed by the League. If I expose his plan to the person that he contacted, then his head will be on the plate, he thought as he took to the sky. Then last of all, I need to have the silent registry disbanded. I can have that abolished by exposing it as part of the second in charge's doing. He flew off, making his way across to the rehabilitation centre to pick you up. You had intended on taking a taxi back home, but Hawks liked to fly with you, so he was coming to get you, ready or not. You looked at your watch and gasped. Mum, it's late. I should get going, you said with horror. It'll be dark soon. Oh heavens, I didn't realise the time, your mum said as she stood up. Our dinner is ready downstairs soon too, so I should head down there to get a seat for Ray and I. Sounds good. Let's go together, you said with a smile. You both left the room and chatted as you headed for the elevator. She pressed the button to take the ride down, and you waited for the doors to open. The elevator dinged and the doors opened. Hey, chicken, a cheeky voice greeted you, and you looked from your mum to inside the elevator. Hawks, you said. a shy smile gracing your features. "Oh, Hawks," your mum gasped with surprise. "What are you doing here? I'm so excited for you and Yin. Congratulations." "Thanks, Mrs. Lin," Hawks said as he stepped out of the elevator and kissed her in greeting on the cheek. She giggled like a schoolgirl and you shook your head. Hawks gave you a sly look and winked at you, which made your knees go weak. "How are you feeling, Mrs. Lin?" Hawks asked in his friendly voice. "Oh, please, Hawks, call me Mum," she gushed. "Oh, God, seriously, Mum?" you groaned internally. "I like that," Hawks said with a cheeky grin. "Okay, Mum it is." As you all stood there chatting, Mrs. Todoroki arrived. Hawks looked up at her and smiled sympathetically. "Hi, Mrs. Todoroki," he said gently. "Hawks," she said with surprise. "How are you?" "I'm well, thank you. How have you been?" he asked politely. "I'm doing much better, thank you," she replied. "Good to hear," he said, a soft look in his eye. You watched him curiously. Mum, I came to pick up my lovely girl here," Hawks said sheepishly. "We should probably get going." "Oh, of course, Hawks," your mum replied as she stepped closer to Ray. "We need to get going down to dinner anyway," she said happily. "Sounds good. Let's all head downstairs then," Hawks said, pushing the button on the elevator to let everyone in. After saying goodbye to your mum and Ray, you and Hawks left to go back home. "Does Mrs. Todoroki know you and her son were in the training together?" you asked Hawks as you and he walked off down the street. "No, I don't think she does. I only remember Endeavour dropping Toya off on the first day of training," Hawks said. "But I've met Ray a few times as a full-fledged hero," he said. "I've dropped people to this building before, so I've always made it a point to say hello to her whenever I'm here." He went silent for a bit, then spoke again. "I don't know if she knows what happened to Toya. I assume she does, but I've always felt really bad about it," he said softly. "I did see the whole thing after all." "Oh, I see," you said sympathetically. And there ends chapter 51. Stay tuned for chapter 52.